Breaking. Yes, tense today in Biafra land as the indigenous people of Biafra lose a member in hot, fresh attack. Yes, as the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa blows hot. Okay, yes, don't forget we are your Exposed News TV. Without further ado, we'll go into the details of this news. All right, tensions have continued to rise in Biafra land as another violent confrontation between the security forces and members of the indigenous people of Biafra, of course, left one dead and several injured. The incident occurred in the early hours of the day and has further heightened an already volatile situation in the region. The latest clash took place in the outskirts of the Biafra land or Imo State, where some members were reportedly under attack from a joint task force of the Zoo Republic and police units. According to eyewitnesses, the forces ambushed the gathering of the members who were holding a meeting to discuss plans for future movements. While the full details still remain sketchy, it is confirmed that one member was found dead in the assault, with several others sustaining injuries. The identity of the disease has not yet been officially released, but the death has sent shockwaves through the Biafran community, with many accusing the government of launching a brutal crackdown on peaceful. Yes, but of course you know that nowadays we are not going with the peaceful. Yes, we are tired of going with the peaceful, as the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has decided to go back to back with this set of people, because of course it has come to that extent, it has reached that extent where it has to be taken seriously, and that is the truth of the matter. We continue with what is going on. Okay, as it dey be, this continue. The latest clash took place in the outskirts, and of course, one dead, the others injured. Local residents has described the scene as chaotic, with gunfire erupting without warning. A witness has said that we heard gunshots and saw people running in every direction. They were shooting and shouting. Everyone was scared, said a local who witnessed the attack from a distance. In response to the death, the leaders have called for immediate response across the region, condemning what they described as state-sponsored terrorism. My people, which is not a joke, this state-sponsored terrorism is what has been taking place in Biafra land. Yes, and tensions has run high in Olo, and it has remained high as residents brace for further unrest, because it is very, very heartbreaking. Yes, of course, the PM Simon Ekpa has also responded to what this has happened. He says in a fiery broadcast shortly after the attack, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, the controversial leader of the Biafra government in exile, lashed out at the Nigerian authorities and vowed retribution for the death of the member. Ekpa, who has gained a reputation for his hardline stance on Biafra's independence, condemned the government for what he called a cowardly and unprovoked attack on his people. He came out and said, of course, that this Black Day will not be forgotten. Ekpa declared in a live stream watched by thousands of his supporters, the blood of this fallen hero will not be in vain. The Zoo government must answer for their crimes. We will continue to resist this occupation, and we will not rest until Biafra is free. Ekpa's words have further inflamed on already tense atmosphere. Of course, that is what it is supposed to do, for him to know that, or for people to know that we are not going to give up or sit and watch these people do what they do. We are not going to sit down. He is not going to sit down and watch. with calls for revenge resonating among his followers both within and outside the region. His warning of escalated resistance has raised fears of more violent confrontations within the government. Of course, the comeback is going to be mad, and the Biafra Liberation Army is going to be on it on every level. Yes, my people, on that, the next video that is going to play, or the next audio you're going to hear, is going to be on everything that concerns the movement and all. So yes, my people, enjoy.
If you are threatening any of our people whose only way of making any living as it stands right now is to work as a civil servant under the zoo institutions in Biafra land, and you are threatening them for whatsoever reason, you are on your own, in as much as that very word or threat is not coming from the Biafra government. Now, having said this, let us read from the official flyer. This very flyer will show us a lot. Please pay attention, my people. If you haven't liked the broadcast, please, I really don't know what you are waiting for. We are heading to the main topic, which has brought us here this evening. And remember what I said. I am going to make it an open mic so that Biafrans, of course, will join me live and make their own contribution. Very, very important. All right, here we are. Now, according to the banner, according to the, of course, the official flyer from the office of the Prime Minister, it says, announcement. The celebration of the Nigeria independence on the 1st of October remains banned in Biafra territory. There will be lockdown on the 1st of October before the 60 days lockdown of Nigeria institutions in Biafra territory as part of the ongoing delegitimization of the Nigeria terrorist state within Biafra land. So now, this very official flyer was made because of the first tweet. Because I know that a lot of people will be confused because of this. So many people will be confused because of this. So, based on the last tweet of the Prime Minister, the last tweet of this very current development says that every Biafran, according to him, he said, Biafrans can go about their businesses. That was the last tweet of this very latest development. So please, and if you go through the official X account of the Prime Minister, you see that the first tweet got almost 50,000, seen or views, whatever you can call it. Now, if you go to the flyer itself, the flyer which he shared yesterday, was it yesterday or 28? Sorry, 28, which has 26K views from my end. I don't know how many it has from your end. Now, when you go to the new one, the latest one, which is the last update he made over this very effect, is got about 30K views, right? Meaning that The first one that has over 50K views from my side has already, gotten the minds of our people more than the latest one. This is what I want you to understand here. More than the latest one. So it is very, very imperative that we educate our people, let them understand what the Prime Minister is trying to say. According to the last tweet, he said that Biafrans can go about their businesses. But the zoo institutions will remain shut down. Will remain shut down tomorrow. So when you bring it back to what I said initially, which I said is going to be I said tomorrow will be very, very, important and significant in the life of every Biafran. What does that mean? That means that as we shut down all the zoo institutions tomorrow, which is not just because of the 30-day lockdown, which is going on as it stands today, but this one is strictly attack on the zoo, which is going to send, signal to the entire world that the people of this very area, the people from this area, have not only rejected the zoo, but also let the zoo know how important, how significant, how they cherish their freedom, how important it is to be free, to have freedom, to be free from, from slavery. So, for us to abandon the zoo Independence Day celebration is another shocker. It's going to be another shocker to the zoo, to Tinubu, to the ministers, to the governors, to every single thing that represents Nigerian state in the world at large, not just in Biafra land or in Nigeria, but at worldwide. So please, it is very, very important that our people get this message. The reason why we will boycott anything that has to do with the zoo independence is because we are no longer Nigerians. Therefore, we cannot celebrate Nigeria. And more importantly, as far as the zoo is concerned, the zoo represents death. I want you to listen. The Nigeria state as it stands today represents death. And we cannot celebrate our death. Nigeria has murdered our people, buyed our people, and they keep on buying our people on a regular basis. In fact, this is now a routine thing. They have murdered our people on regular basis. Therefore, the zoo itself represents death, and we cannot afford to celebrate our own, passing away. We can't celebrate our own unaliving. Let me use the word they use on TikTok. Are you paying attention? So, When you see something which is, destroying your life, the only option you have is to stay away from it. That is the only option you have, to stay away from it completely. Because failure to stay away from it, you may not even live to regret it. You may not live to regret it. So there is no any celebration within Biafra land tomorrow. Now, I want to play this very video just to remind the zoo, had it been that they listened to this very man 7 years ago, this very issue wouldn't have gotten to this very level that it is today.
It's spiritual. You can't fight an ideology with gun and bullet. Let me explain this. Sit down before we pray. I'm worried. Some people want to fight an ideology. How do you fight an ideology? An ideology is like a spirit. You can fight an ideology. You can't use gun and bullet to stop an ideology. The way to deal with an ideology, you engage it with wisdom. The only bullet that can kill an ideology is the bullet of knowledge. Wisdom. Wisdom. The only way to deal with the ideology is to go back to the founder of the ideology and reprogram the ideology and stand at the central processing unit of the ideology and make sure it is rightfully corrected. If you remove the leader, have you removed the ideology? There are more crazy Nnamdi Kanu that will come up after Nnamdi.
The zoo, did you hear that? The Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, did you hear that? If you remove Nnamdi Kanu, there are more people crazier than Nnamdi Kanu who will come up. How many of you remember one idiot that called himself prophet? One idiot that called himself a prophet, who was making a video a couple of months ago when there was a rumor of release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when the governors were parabolating, gallivanting all over the places, claiming to have or to go and meet Tinubu for him to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to them. One idiot came out and claimed to be a prophet. He said that Simon Ekpa is parasite 1. Nnamdi Kanu is parasite 2. So you cannot release parasite 2 without parasite 1. How many of you remembered it? How many of you saw that video? Although sometime in the past, I also told you that the man was correct. Although he claimed to be a prophet, or claimed to be, speaking prophetically, but there is nothing like prophecy there. It has absolutely nothing to do with prophecy. It's true. That is the truth. That is the truth. Cancer 1 and Cancer 2, which is going to, tagidezu, tapiaya, tabunyoya, mad people everywhere, mokoko. Is it parasite or cancer? I don't remember. Either parasite or cancer, he said. Cancer 1, Cancer 2, parasite 1, parasite 2, whatever. Is going to eat the zoo until the zoo is finished. I concur. It is true. Cancer 1 and Cancer 2, or parasite 1 and parasite 2, whatever. You understand? So, now, If the zoo, if they were told when they were busy spending billions of worthless naira to lay their filthy hands on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the man that Chukwuokike Abiama blessed, and they thought it was going to end there. They thought it was going to end there. Somebody's asking me if I mean Primate Ayodele. No, it's not Ayodele. That why you made me even call the name of some irrelevant idiots. Not even that one. Not that one that called himself Primate Ayodele or whatever he called himself. There's another one. I don't remember his name. Somebody can remind me on comment section because I know that many of you watched the video. It's just recently. And forget those names they are answering. Primate, the pastor, prophet, all those nonsensical. None of them is primate, none of them is pastor, none of them, I said none of them is prophet. None, not even one person. None of them. If there is a true, prophet in the zoo, there are no more than one person. So forget those Oka Fanebu Wanketa. Prophet Ikuru, I think it sounds like that. Somebody said Prophet Ikuru. Maybe your Koko. So it's not a prophecy, it's reality. As they have grabbed the cancer one, even in their own custody, is eating them up. Is eating them up in their own custody. And they haven't dealt with it. They are busy looking for cancer too. You see? So, this very man, Iginla, who was advising the zoo many years ago, if you ask me, I will still tell you that there is nothing like prophecy there. This is not against Iginla. It's not against him. There is nothing like prophecy there. Because even the layman, even the little baby who was knowledgeable enough to understand what was going on as at that time can, picture the future. I'm saying a little baby, a newborn baby who was aware, who has the ability to know what was happening as at that time, could have been able to picture the future. So it has nothing to do with, prophecy, but I am not against Iginla because every single thing he said on this video and the other one he was saying dialogue now were all true. Were all true. Not prophecy, because even as at then, somebody who does not claim to be a prophet would have known, what is going to happen.
They are just hiding under him. The only way to kill this is not by gun and bullet. It's by engaging with proper dialogue, with knowledge and wisdom.
Now, on their own side, the one Nigerianists, on their own side, they are telling the zoo to dialogue with the Biafra agitators, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in order to settle him, and Nigeria continues the way it is. On their own part, because I watched another of his video. I don't know if he's here. I don't know if that part is also here. There's another of his video. He said that he is not in support of the breakup of Nigeria because he's a full Nigerian. He said it. Iginla said it. You understand me? So now A prophecy does not come as as a probability or under probability. Prophecy does not come with probability. Yes, I think that is the right word. Prophecy does not come, can never come with probability. It is not possible. Prophecy will come boom and tell you this is what God said and this is what is going to happen. So time, so day. Because when you talk about prophecy, that means God is speaking. It does not come with probability. It does not come with assumption. You understand me? Prophecy is the word of God that says this is what is going to happen. And there is no any other solution because it's going to happen. It is only one place in the Bible that I saw that God said somebody is going to die. The person went to face wall and started crying to God, and God extended his age. Only one place. Every other places you talk about prophecy, it is one thing. Once they say this is what is going to happen, it will happen. Right? That is prophecy. It does not come with alternative. There is no any alternative for prophecy. This is something that people do not know. No alternative for prophecy. No, it doesn't have alternative. If God has told any man of God, I'm not talking, this is not for Iginla. I'm not here to criticize Iginla. Get it right, please. When God tells any prophet, any of his child, go and tell whoever that is the president of the zoo that the zoo will disintegrate. It is like that. It is done and dusted. There is nothing will make the zoo not to disintegrate, just as God has told his prophet, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, the same way God told his prophet that the zoo will break. And since then, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has remained consistent, knowing fully well that that word that his father told him, that same word God told him will come to pass. That's why he is standing firm in his conviction that a time is fast approaching where the zoo will come to an end, because his father had told him. It doesn't come with assumption or probability. No. It's not that God say you should go and have dialogue with us so that the zoo should not break. There is nothing like, no. There's nothing like, actually, to be honest with you as a spiritual man that I am, there is absolutely nothing like that. God does not give assumption or alternative to his word. No. So let's continue. But remember, the bone of contention here is that if the zoo listened to this man and called for dialogue on our own favor, which is to know, to officially demarcate, to officially divide, to officially share our boundaries with the zoo, it would have been easier for them without this, the so-called, what they call today, violent agitation. It wouldn't have gotten there. It wouldn't have gotten there. So their own dialogue is different from our own dialogue. I don't know if you're paying attention. That's why we don't criticize them. Somebody like Iginla, we don't criticize him. We take our own, the one that favors us, and we leave them with their own. Their own dialogue is to call their agitators and settle them, talk to them, calm them down, settle with them, and then the country moves on. That is their own dialogue. Our own dialogue is different. We are thinking, or we are coming from a different direction. Our own dialogue is to tell us, okay, you guys have drawn your map, you know your borders, okay, let us make it official. Boom, everybody goes their separate ways. That is our own dialogue, and that is where we stand. You understand? So that's why I said we take the one that is that is beneficial to us, and we leave their own, instead of us to criticize him. Let's continue.
This cry we are hearing here is not a cry of children, it's a cry of adults. The only way, I am not an advocate that Nigeria should separate, God forbid.
Good. Now, wow. To be honest with you, when I got this video recently, I think it was yesterday, or that I've watched the video before. But when I got this particular one that I'm playing now, I didn't listen, I didn't watch it till this moment. But I knew that this same man of God, at a point, there's a time he said he is not for Nigeria's breakup because he's a full-blooded Nigerian. And it's not even up to 1 minute. Boom. Let's listen again. So remember, I have made it clear that this analysis is not against Iginla. At least he tried. He tried to speak up than others, other criminals who are parading themselves as pastors in the zoo. Even bigger than him. Some bigger criminals. So he's even better than some other bigger, armed robbers who use Bible and microphone to deceive our people.
No. I am not an advocate that Nigeria should separate, God forbid. No. But I'm saying the best way to handle this, listen to the cry of the children. Sit down. Everything is not gun and bullet. When you take the leader away, okay, take the leader away. There's how many people are on the street? Do you know how many spirit of Biafra have entered people? Do you know how many? Do you know how many millions are carrying the spirit of Biafra around? So if you kill the leader or you take the leader away, can you take the spirit from everybody?
Never.
Ojukwu is not here, but Biafra is alive. It's an ideology. The man who started it has left. Before he left, he kept quiet and lived peacefully and left. But the generation that have come have picked it up, and it's even worse than his own now. And they are engaging it with knowledge.
And when this man said this, he said, and even worse than now than as it is before. When this man said, we are talking about 7 to 8 years ago, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was detained, illegally detained in Kuje, when he was actually arrested in Lagos State, airport, international airport, Murtala Mohammed, airport hotel. So that is when this man was making these utterances, telling them that it is not about gun and bullets. And remember, that time we were not armed. IPOB members were being mauled on a daily basis. We were not armed. The zoo were having their field day. Anytime they hear protest from IPOB, boom, they have come to suck blood that day. That day they have come to suck blood. And we were not armed. This man was telling them this thing, that even now, it is now even worse than Ojukwu them